If you drop an object into the Mariana Trench, you introduce it to one of the most extreme fluid columns on the planet. This environment is defined by a sheer vertical drop of 11,000 meters, filled with seawater at a density of roughly 1,025 kilograms per cubic meter. To understand the physics at play in this column, we can use a standardized spherical volume as a test subject, specifically a regulation bowling ball. Dropping this sphere over the side of a boat yields one of two feasible outcomes. It will either become a surface drifter governed entirely by ocean currents, or it will initiate a vertical descent to the abyssal plain. Determining the sphere's fate and calculating its exact travel time requires putting aside intuition. We have to treat this as a rigorous boundary value physics problem. The central mathematical constant of this experiment is the shape of the object. A regulation bowling ball maintains an identical fixed volume, regardless of its internal composition or weight. This diagram shows the cross-section of that fixed volume. According to Archimedes' principle, this specific sphere displaces exactly 12.13 pounds, or 5.5 kilograms, of seawater. That 12.13 pounds represents the absolute buoyancy threshold for the object. If the sphere's total mass falls below this threshold, the upward buoyant force of the displaced water exceeds the downward pull of gravity. The average bowling ball you would pick off a rack weighs only 10.5 pounds. It will float. It enters the surface current system, where ocean models show it drifting for 3.5 years before potentially washing up on the California coast. Standard consumer weights shift the focus of the experiment from vertical descent to the mechanics of horizontal drift. To analyze the second outcome, we need a sphere that possesses a mass greater than the 12.13 pound threshold. This introduces the concept of apparent weight. This is the actual mass of the object minus the upward force of the displaced fluid. This free body diagram outlines forces on the descending sphere. A fixed upward buoyant force works against a dynamically growing downward gravity vector. This apparent weight accelerates the sphere downward, triggering hydrodynamic drag. Terminal velocity occurs when upward drag perfectly equals downward apparent weight. We can apply this locked equation to a heavier 15.5-pound sphere, or 7 kilograms. Factoring in the drag coefficient for a smooth sphere, the calculated terminal velocity for this specific mass is roughly 1.3 meters per second. At that constant speed, it will take the ball 2 hours and 20 minutes to clear the 11-kilometer column and reach the seafloor. Once the mass threshold is breached, apparent weight drives the descent, with terminal velocity increasing relative to the square root of the object's mass. We can test this equation against an edge case by dropping a sphere that weighs exactly 13 pounds. Sitting barely above the 12.13-pound displacement threshold, this mass yields near-neutral buoyancy, producing an incredibly weak apparent weight vector. The resulting descent is a sluggish fall stretching over 4.5 hours. To radically stress test the drag equation, we can replace the standard composite core with solid elemental metals, while strictly maintaining the sphere's regulation volume. The first metallic substitute we can test is solid iron. This massive leap in material density drives up the apparent weight, requiring vastly higher speeds before drag can generate enough opposing force to halt acceleration. For an iron sphere of this exact volume, the new calculated descent time drops to exactly 30 minutes. By locking the aerodynamic profile and the volume, we isolate material density as the variable controlling vertical travel time. We can push this further by introducing 3 hyperdense competitors to race against iron: lead, gold, and osmium. This photographic source shows how rapidly the mass of fine gold compounds within a small confined space. The density required to forge a regulation-sized bowling ball out of solid gold means the final sphere would weigh more than an adult human. The final element is osmium. As the heaviest naturally occurring material on Earth, it pushes this fixed spherical volume to a mass of over 250 pounds. This vertical graph tracks 4 identical spheres: iron, lead, gold, and osmium, down the 11,000-meter column. Lead impacts at 24 minutes, gold at exactly 18. Because gold is much denser than iron, it must accelerate to a vastly higher velocity before drag achieves equilibrium. This comparative model mathematically proves how material density determines the velocity required for drag to reach equilibrium. That leaves the final, heaviest element still descending in the model, solid osmium. This graph zeroes in on the osmium sphere striking the abyssal plain. The impact logs the absolute shortest descent time achievable, precisely 16 minutes. The finalized mathematical equation demonstrates this 16-minute mark is a hard physical limit for this specific volume on Earth. Movement through this fluid column is determined by the specific density of the material as it interacts with the buoyant force of the seawater. Striking the seafloor means the kinematics have finally reached equilibrium. Calculating deep water descent times is ultimately about mapping these absolute physical limits of how mass and matter interact within planetary fluid systems.